Hello viewers, good day, and I'm delighted to welcome you to yet another edition of Crossfire, reaching you from the Advent Cable Network Nigeria Television, ACNNTV. I am Olusegun Emmanuel Akinola. Crossfire is a program that treats controversial topics on diverse issues surrounding the family, church, and of course, the society. It's a friendly discussion where we just raise these pertinent issues. However, you are now left to decide where you stand. And our focus today is on politics. Is Nigeria ready for a female president? Since democracy was embraced in Nigeria in 1999, we have witnessed a steady growth of women participation in politics in Nigeria. However, the state of women's participation in Nigeria still remains very low, right now with less than 3% of women in the National Assembly. Today, Nigeria has one of the lowest rates of female representation across Africa and even globally. We rank 181 out of 193 countries. So, to discuss this all-important issue, we have two wonderful women who will share their views and perspectives on this topic. They are Mrs. Temitaya Otoki, who will be speaking for female participation in politics, and we have Mrs. Queen Phillips, who will be speaking against it. Thank you for joining us on the program today.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Yes, ma'am. Mrs. Queen Phillips, I will begin with you since you're speaking against it, that Nigeria doesn't seem to be ready for a female president. I know that you most likely be supportive of women who are in politics and they are leaders in different spheres, but you still have reservations concerning politics in Nigeria. So why would you say Nigeria is not ready for a female president?
Thank you, moderator, and
Yes.
thank you for having me here. I think this question is very apt at this time and
Okay.
very important to be discussed, and God helping us. I would say that Nigeria is not ready for the female president
Okay.
in the political space. Looking at the population of the country, women measure up to about half of the population of the Nigerian population. And the woman has amongst her roles and duties some very prominent ones,
Okay.
which we noticed day in, day out. A woman is a mother, she is a community organizer, she is a social and political activist, she is a producer. But in all of this, the societal values still discriminate against the woman. There is no recognition to this role that the woman play in the country,
Okay.
even in the family, from the upbringing to the stability of the child. And the cultural values and norms of Nigeria, the stereotype roles that have been accredited to the woman, she's supposed to be head at the background. And when it comes to political activities, the political structure and the politicians, the stakeholders, see it as a masculine affair.
Of course.
And then when it comes to sponsorship, the political actors and the key players prefer to sponsor the male over the female.
Yeah.
All this discrimination are sort of assimilated into the woman. And that has relegated her to the back. Not that the women are not in politics, but they are not in that positions that befits them.
Okay.
They are not in the position that befits them. And that is because the political structure is not favorable to the woman. So the woman, it's not that the woman is not ready to take over the political space in Nigeria, but rather Nigeria is not ready to accept the woman, or rather to even allow the woman to get to that political level, not because she's not qualified or not because she cannot do it. Women are very educated.
That's true.
They are very strong.
That's true.
They are very powerful. They only need that political structure that will be favorable to them for them to key in and get to that post of being the president of this country.
Okay.
And I tell you, things will turn around.
I pray so too.
So the women are ready, but
Okay.
Nigeria is not ready
itself is not ready.
for the
Okay.
women.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Welcome,
Let me
sir.
come to you, Mrs. Otoki. Now, in a country like Nigeria where women are seen and not heard, would you say the Nigerian political climate has been favorable? I mean, there was a time that we had more women in the National Assembly, but now it's going down. So would you say that the climate is actually favorable? Women should still come out and still aggressively participate in politics?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Yes.
The condition may not be favorable, but we will not keep quiet.
Okay.
Because the Bible makes us to understand that during the time of John the Baptist until now, that's what how the Bible puts it, that the kingdom of God suffered violence, and it's only the violent that will also take it by force. So the condition, the laid down condition for us in Nigeria may not be okay. We may be having few of us, few women in the corridor of power, but we must not relent on our efforts.
Okay.
We must keep pressing. We must keep forging ahead. I know one day there is going to be light after the tunnel, that women will be given chance to rule this country.
Okay. By the grace of God.
Amen.
That such a time will come. Let me come to you, Mrs. Queen. We've seen the political climate in other African countries, that women are actually coming out more. We've seen lots of female presidents in Burundi, South Africa, Liberia, even presently now in Ethiopia, they are female president.
Yeah.
So don't you think that Nigerian politics should give room for more women?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm praying that
Okay.
the Nigerian politics, the political space of Nigeria will give space for the women to ascend. I'm not saying to give space to the women and dash them.
Okay.
They will go through the process because they have been going through the process. Like all this country that you have mentioned, the climate is favorable for them. They are carried along in the planning, in the execution, and in occupying the posts. These women are carried along in those countries. But I think the awareness down here is still very low.
Very low.
The awareness is still very low. That same culture is still tying the women down. And that is because our men are very good. They are great.
Yeah.
They are the crown of our heads. I love and I respect them. But the men still needs to give them that chance to ascend. The women still needs to be carried along. For example, all this country you have mentioned. In fact, look at Rwanda just by us here. Despite the Hutus and the Tutsi, the genocide and whatever. If we go to that country now, we'll see how it is. Women, the president Kagame has flooded the government with women. And I'm sure with time, a woman will ascend also. Just like we have women in these other countries. In this, our own country here, Mama Sarah Jibrin,
Yes.
4 times came up and gave herself up for the presidential aspirants. How did it end? Even amongst the women, how many of them voted for her?
That's true.
How many of them voted for her? And then, in these same women we are talking about, they are being used. They use the women because they are very educated and very knowledgeable, so they can deliver. But who is giving them the space and the encouragement to ascend that position? But they will only use us.
That's true.
And then get to that post
And then
and then leave us there. But because we do not have that encouragement. The culture is not supporting us. The religion bias, religion abuse, reading it upside down does not support the woman. So if she gets to that post of being a minister, then it is fine. After all, you are there.
You are there. Yes.
You are there. But what we want is give us the space, encourage us, just try us, and see how we turn things around.
Okay.
So the culture has still not allowed us to move like these countries that we have mentioned.
Okay.
A woman in Nigeria coming out for presidency, even in these other posts, commissioners, deputy governors, governors, there's so many things that will be said about the woman is enough to demoralize her. And it's not just the men folks that are doing that. Even the women are part of that. They will go back to look for when she was born, when she was in secondary school, how she grew up, before she married, and they will just throw something that will demoralize her. So how do we expect others to follow? The culture, the political climate, the political structures need to allow us to move just like these other countries that we are seeing women ascending as presidents.
Okay.
We are very much ready,
and
we have capable women.
That's wonderful, man. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Ms. Otoki, coming to you now, since you're supporting, of course, I know you're both supporting, but you have, I think you feel that there's no obstacle in the way women can actually go full head on. Now, do you actually think that women have a voice in Nigeria? I mean, even with some of the examples she has given, people have tried and tried and tried, but they step down, or they just feel, well, we are not ready. So does that mean that because women have been marginalized, that they actually don't have a voice at all in Nigeria?
Thank you, sir. Women has a voice. We have voice. I remember Olufunmilayo Ransom Kuti.
That's true.
Nobody asked her to speak, but she speak on her own. And I salute her contribution. The Bible makes us to understand in the book of Proverbs, it says, speak out, stand up. So if we continue to speak, they may think we don't have voice, but the little voice that we have, we should not keep quiet. Yes. We should not think because they will not hear us, they will not allow us to do what we desire to do, the impact that we desire to make. And because of that, just fold our hands or be looking. No. We should continue to speak. That small voice. The Bible makes us to understand about the Church of Philadelphia in the book of Revelation. He said, you have small strength, but I will help you. So that small voice that we have, let's continue to speak with the backing of God. One day, that voice will matter even at the top, and we'll be able to have a rightful position in the society. It doesn't matter what is going on now. It doesn't matter the challenges we may be facing now as women. It doesn't matter whatever we are going through now, but don't let us keep quiet. Because men have looked down on us, we should not look down on ourselves. Women out there, I am telling you, if you have the urge, if you have the zeal, go for it. Keep talking. Keep standing up. One day, God will back you. In fact, God is not even one day. God is already backing you up. One day, the Lord will make that your voice to matter, and you will achieve your targeted desire. So if you are there, you are in politics, continue. Let's continue to speak. Even if women did not support us now, it doesn't matter. If women did not support you now, it doesn't matter. Keep trying. Keep trying. The road to success is not easy. But at the end, I know for sure, after the tunnel, there's going to be light.
You know, just like the point you made now, and even when the Queen also made it earlier, that it's not only the men that seem to be marginalizing the women, even women don't seem to be supporting one another. So don't you think they should actually relax for now? Maybe give another 20 or 30 years. Let them still keep doing the little ones they're doing, be minister of this, be minister of that, relax until later time. Does it really have to be now?
We were not relaxing, yet they were not giving us chance. Is it now when we now relax that they will remember us? Okay. When we are not relaxing, yet they are not giving us opportunity to prove who we are. Is it when we now keep quiet for 20 years, they will forget us outrightly?
Yes.
So we should keep talking.
Okay, okay. Now, like we said earlier, Mrs. Queen, we said women only seem to be heard, but they are not seen at all, even in the political hemisphere in Nigeria. Is that really true in Nigeria? Because we've had several women who have risen to many positions, who have done very well for themselves. We have people like Amina Mohammed, who is now the Deputy Secretary General of UN. We have Onkojo Iweala, who is former finance minister. Late Dora Akunyili was former Minister of Information. And Obi Ezekwesili, who was a former education minister. So with all these examples, and of course even many more, don't you think women should keep pressing on, or should they just stay on those kind of positions for now until a better time tomorrow?
Well, before I answer that, my mommy here has said so much. The scripture is perfect in all things. The scripture is perfect in all things. God has given us those scriptures. He has given us his words. And he has told us that his words are yea and amen. So we will take it by force. That is the scriptures. But there's action. For every action you need to take, there has to be efforts to follow it. If we are taking it by force, who are the supporters that we have? What action are we using to take it by force? A single woman cannot take it by force.
That's true.
Two heads are better than one. So we will take it by force, but we will need every hands on deck to do that. And then I would not say that in the political space, the women are seen, the women are heard.
Okay.
I would put it that way. But maybe the women are heard 70%, and then seen 30%. Yes. For example, you know, I'm just being practical. I'm a town planner. I'm being practical. If you play back during the campaigns, if you look at the crowd that cheers, that carry the placards, beautiful Ashwebi, Gele up and down, sweating profusely under the sun. If you take the statistics, women are more in that crowd. Women will be 70% to 30% of men in that crowd. If you now look at the podium to see the people that we are projecting, the people that we are campaigning for, if you look at the podium and you see the key actors, then you will have 80% of men on that podium, and then you have 20% of women there. But because one Mrs. Otoki is among the 80% on the podium, I know her. All my entourage will come out. Ah, Mrs. Otoki is there. So all of us will come out. Because she is there, we will do the campaign and everything. When it is down, the position comes. It doesn't play out like that. In the arrangement, in the discussions, in the promises, it doesn't work out. At the end, you begin to see women crying. I want, they are refusing to give me. They are refusing to give me. And then one top man will go and plead with them. They will say, okay, give her women leader. It's not about women leader. Yes, it's not about women leader. They will say, okay, just give her commissioner. That is not it. We want to be there. The promise has to be kept. That free flow and the gradual rise, let us rise. And then these women we have mentioned, Madam Amina, MDG, the Millennium Development Goals, late Dora Akunyili, Obi Ezekwesili, and all of them, they served this nation meritoriously well.
That's true.
They left structures on ground, except if those that took over for them hadn't the spirit of continuity. But Nigerians know that these women serve very well and they left structures on ground. But then, as ministers, as head of parastatals, under a political party. Then at the end of that, they either switch them to another political party and say, okay, now you are done here. Remember, she has risen to the post of a minister, head of a parastatal. Nothing stops her ascending up, but she will move to another party. Maybe that will come here, we will give you here. Now she's done there. They do not want to allow her to move higher. So she lives in anger to the other place. And when she goes there, she starts again as either a minister, or as head of a parastatal. It is fine like that. After all, you are a woman. So if they have given you there, they have silenced her. But they use the women as ministers, commissioners here because we are very knowledgeable. Yeah. We went to school. We are schooled. So they use us and get result. Of course, if that hierarchy is weak, the entire government is weak. But if that hierarchy is strong and they are able to deliver, the credit goes to the top. The president is doing very well. So they use these women. But you see, when they are done with them, and they do not give them the space to move higher, the international community scramble for these women.
Of course, that's true.
But for the Nigerians, they will have the chance to ascend there as vice president or president.
That's true.
So if you look at it, former health minister, Dr. Grej, just for a simple, honest decision, she was framed up and sent away.
That's true.
The first speaker of the House, Madam Ete, Felicia Ete or so, okay. She was framed up and sent away. When Madam Olujumi, the senator, brought a bill to the House that was going to favor women to a certain degree, the bill was killed. So what are we saying? Sarah Jibrin had a sole vote of only her in the PDP primaries of 2011 or 2012. There were women there. Where were they? But the only vote was just our own vote. Okay. So they only use us on that level to achieve, and they don't allow us to ascend. So we plead with them to let us be. Okay. So these women are ready to take over. Nigeria is not ready to have the woman as a president or even the vice president. Okay. But we plead with them to give us that space. Okay. And we plead with other women to join hands with these women so that we can ascend.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll just take a short break and we'll be back in a minute.
Newspaper headlines, a program that provides a great sense of educational value.
This is the program where we serve the menu of news making headlines from select national newspapers.
It carries information about politics, economy, entertainment, sports.
Alright, that is it on a sports update.
Business, industry, trade, and commerce. We carry the news of Nigeria and the world, bringing it right to the comfort of your home.
So many events happened from yesterday within and outside the country. Please stay with us as we take a look at these stories.
Newspaper headlines, a program you cannot afford to miss, showing only on ACNNTV.
Good day, viewers, and welcome back to Crossfire. We have been looking at heated debates on politics, women participation in politics. Is Nigeria ready for a female president? And so far, we've had in our studio Mrs. Temitayo Otoki, who has been supporting women going all the way to the top, being a president, and while Mrs. Queen Phillips has been saying Nigeria is truly not ready for that. Let me come to you now, Mr. Otoki. There's a common saying, you know, we say that what a man can do, you know, a woman can do better. And of course, since you are saying that women are ready, do you think that for the leadership of this country, Nigeria, with all that's going on with the corruption and the economy and all these many things, that women are really ready to take over leadership?
Thank you, sir. Yes.
Okay.
We are. And with the last discussion that Mommy Queen just done with, you will realize that women are intelligent.
That's true.
We are very, very intelligent, and when we are put in a particular position, we put all our best into it, and we come out great. We have mentioned so many of them. I begin to wonder if the NAFDAC that Dora headed is the kind of NAFDAC we are having today. Because during her own time, you dare not. She was so good, so brilliant, and she was all over.
That's true.
We have that brain. We have that skill. There is nothing man can do that a woman cannot even do better.
That's true.
Why? Because women, we are the one that conceived them in 9 months in our womb.
Yes.
So we know human feeling. So when we are talking about poverty, we know what is poverty. Many of these men, you will see them, they will say, and they were not wearing sandal to school. They were not wearing knicker to school. They were not doing this, they were not doing that. But God has now given you an opportunity to change the situation, yet you are not doing anything. But a woman will never do that because she carries you for 9 months. And after that, she took care of you, not seeing you for 3 years. And so, because of that, we have human feelings. So when it comes to poverty alleviation, we can do it. You go to hospital, you see all manner of things happening that are not favorable to women. We are the one feeling all this. So we can take care of the health section. Talk of security. We are, many of us, when we are kidnapped, they will now be asking you for ransom. Ransom. You are the one feeling the heat over there. Then we will know that we are the women are the one at the heat of all the mess that men caused.
Okay.
So if we are given the chance, and the chance, let them do it the way it was done for World Trade Organization, that 2 women were put down at the same time. So you don't have choice whether it's our own Nigerian woman, Ngozi, or the other woman, Yo. It's woman and woman.
That's true.
All the political parties, let them put women as their presidential candidate. Then we will pick the best.
Okay, we actually look forward to such a time like that, where we actually have more women vying for such offices. Thank you very much, ma. Coming to you now, Mommy Queen, what can the women do? Or should I even say, what can the government itself do, to make sure that women are recognized in the political arena, or even the women themselves? What can they do to be recognized in the political arena?
I will start with the women.
Okay.
Because it has to do with us, the women. For us, the women, to make sure that we are recognized in the political arena, a lot depends on us.
Okay.
We must collectively have deliberate decision to love ourselves.
Okay.
The women must love themselves. We must learn to encourage each other. We must drop the spirit of pull-down syndrome. If it is not me, why is she? We must drop that pull-down syndrome. We must unite.
True.
There's nothing wrong in the women coming up. They have gone very far. There's nothing wrong in the women coming up with a very strong, formidable party. The men will belong, but a party led by the women. There's nothing wrong about that. Now we are telling the key actors in the political space in Nigeria, yes, we are still very much available and we are ready to take over.
Okay.
And then for the government, they just need to understand us. We are not competing with the men because the government is the men. We cannot just hide it. The government is the men because they are the people in power. They are the majority. They are the people that make the decisions. They take the decisions. Because if not, in all the protocols, all the conventions, all the amendments in the Constitution, the 35% affirmative action to reduce the discrimination of women. All these are not working. The Beijing conference, all that are not working because the key actors are the men and they are up there. But they will support us to go for all these conferences, do all those decisions and everything, do the amendment. But who implements it? If it is not implemented, who tells them implement it? They are the people there. So we plead with the government, give women the chance. We are ready. Be ready for us. Try us. Don't frame us up when we are getting there. We are not saying dash us this post. We don't want you to dash us. Qualified people to hand the post are available. They will move through the hierarchy and they get there. When we are getting there, don't stop us. And that is why now I'm thanking God for the governor of Kogi State. Yes, he's doing very well. He has flooded the entire government, 22 local government or so, vice chairman as women. He has started very well. We don't want to stop there. We want to be chairman. We also want to be deputy governors. We want to be governors. And then we want to cross and move up the step.
Not to be satisfied.
Women are ready. Government, just have some little mercy and give us the chance. It's the government that is not ready to have the women.
We've heard someone say that maybe women are only good in the other room. You know, they don't, just be satisfied with the level you are. You're not meant to be seen everywhere. Just be staying in the background.
That's fine. That statement came from a key actor in this political space. Of course. A key leader, the sole leader of this country. Recognize it, because when you say one woman, and that is position for him to refer to one woman as a kitchen object. He referred to all the women. He has referred to all the women. So we are only useful in the kitchen. But that is not right. They know it is not right. If all the women will revolt today, the ministers, the head of parastatals, all these ministries, if all women will revolt and pull down, Nigeria will turn upside down in a twinkle of an eye.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
But we won't do that because we are still trusting that they will give us the space to ascend. So women are ready. Nigeria is not ready for the woman.
Okay. You know, as we're talking about this, my mind is even flashing to United States having a black president, you know, many years ago. Were they ready for it at that moment with Barack Obama coming to office, and later on, of course, you know how the situation is now, and comparing that with Nigeria, it seems the atmosphere is not just favorable, but maybe if we keep speaking and keep acting, maybe eventually we can break through.
Yes, we will break through.
Let me come to you now, Mr. Otoke. You mentioned earlier that, you know, women should be given more opportunities, you know, to serve in various spheres of government. When you're thinking about the supreme leadership, you know, the overall leadership, maybe not supreme, the overall leadership of the country, being commander-in-chief of the armed forces, being in charge of the security of Nigeria, do you think a woman can handle such a position like that, to control the army, to control all the, you know, the forces of the armed forces of Nigeria?
Why not? If Deborah in the Bible can lead Barak to the war front, we still have women like that in Nigeria. It's only just like Mommy Queen was saying, it's only because we were not given opportunity. But there are women that are even more stronger than Deborah in those Bible time. We have them in Nigeria. Why not? We can do it. We can do much more better. Now, let me tell you, sir, if you have been doing something for a long time in the same way and you are getting the same result, why not try another way? Men has been ruling us since 1960 when we have gotten independence, and we have been having the same results, the same thing. The same thing.
No vice president.
No, yes, not even vice president. We salute the courage of some states that have given women to be deputy governors. But many of them now, they are retrieving it. Yes. Let them give, even if it is vice president, let us see whether you will not have a better result compared to what we are facing now in the country. Let them give us chance. And even if they don't give us, we will keep talking. We will not keep quiet because what they can do, we can do much more better. Because women have been endowed. God has so much imparted into us that we can undo so many things at a time and coming out great in all of them. I call women jack of all trades, master of all. That is women.
Okay.
So even if we are doing this,
Master of none.
no, not master of none, master of all. That is women for you, and that we can do successfully well. So if we are giving chance, security, women will know how to do it. We know how to do it. Even right from our home, we know how to do it. If women will not permit anything, it will not happen. So women will have the intelligence and we have the influence. We can do better. Nigerians, you have been having men leaders and they have been giving you same results. Why not try women this time around and see how we are going to fly?
Okay, just by a final note, because my mind is also going into the level of corruption in Nigeria. For you, Mrs. Queen, do you think women can actually make a change? Because there are even a few who have, will I say, have been accused or have been removed from offices because of certain corruption charges and the rest of that. With the level of corruption in Nigeria, do you think women can actually come in and still not fall into the hands of corrupt practices and so on?
Well, I would say the woman is an embodiment of everything. Embodiment of everything. She's an embodiment of love, compassion, peace. She's an embodiment of everything. Despite the corruption level in the country, if a woman is given the chance to become the president of this country, she will survive in the midst of that corruption. We can look back to the level they have allowed us to play to.
Okay.
The late Dora Akuyele, as the head of the NAFDAC, there was so much debts and rots in NAFDAC before she came.
That's true.
When she came in, she turned everything upside down and put things in pleasant places for us. Even those barons that nobody could dare, she dared them. And God was with her because she was on the right track. No woman at that helm of affairs will allow herself to fall into the corruption tangle. For some of the women that have been framed up, I'm using the word framed up because they were later cleared.
Okay.
The Patricia Ete, the first speaker, was later cleared. Dr. Grange, the former commissioner, was later cleared. It's framed up just to demoralize them and then discourage other women and prevent us from coming up. It's just framed up. If a woman is there, corruption will be a thing of the past. Yes. If Dora Akuyele did it, if a Dora's type, which we still have, we get to that top, they will do it. If Okonjo-Iweala worked the way she did, and then she's given chance to become the president of this country, why would she do less? She will not do less. CBN, a woman once acted as the governor of CBN. Madam Sarah, I can't remember the surname. Yes. She's Sarah. One Madam Sarah. She acted as the governor of CBN for a term. Why was she not made a substantive governor of that CBN? And after she left, they put somebody else. Was anything said about her? That is the center of money. That is the center of money. True. Was anything said about her? We have women that can bulldoze their way. We have women that have lived and are still living above corruption, that cannot get themselves entangled in corruption. They are satisfied. They have what it takes to turn this country around. So I still maintain it, that the woman is ready to take over. Nigeria is not ready. We plead with them to make up their mind early.
Okay, as a final note, just before we round up, what would you say for women? Though Nigeria is saying is not ready, what will be your advice, final advice to women?
My advice to women, though Nigeria may not be ready, though many voices that have been speaking have been silenced, but let's keep talking. Let's keep speaking. Don't let us quit. Quitters never win, and winners never quit. One day, I know that we will emerge as president of this nation.
Yes, and you shall be there to witness it.
Amen.
Well, we thank you very much. We sincerely appreciate you, both mothers, for taking time to be here and to lend your voices to this very interesting topic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has indeed been a delightful time discussing this topic. I wish we could actually spend more time and maybe invite more women to air their views, but I'm sure our viewers can eventually make comments. We do hope you have been enriched by this discussion. The women of this nation have been speaking hard to be heard. So also even Nigerian youths have been crying to be heard and given more opportunities. But you know, in a Nigeria that is so culturally diverse, it seems increasingly difficult for women to be supported when vying for any office, you know, from the local, the state, and even the national level. But they must not give up. If they keep speaking, sooner or later, people will definitely listen to them. Till next time, stay blessed and stay safe. Goodbye.